Most people want to change their life. They just don't want to change themselves. They'll watch self-improvement videos all day, take notes, feel motivated, and then go right back to hitting snooze, scrolling TikTok, and wondering why nothing's different. I'm not here to hand you feel-good advice. I'm here to give you habits that might make you uncomfortable, that might make you lose friends, and that will definitely make you rethink how you've been living. Because in 30 days, these can turn you into a completely different person if you actually do them. By the way, if you enjoy deep thought-provoking insights on Stoicism, self-improvement, and navigating life with wisdom, you'll love my free newsletter. Every Sunday, I share powerful lessons, controversial truths, and practical strategies to help you level up, all for free. Want to join? Sign up using the link below and start receiving value-packed content straight to your inbox every week. And if you're a brand looking to sponsor my content and reach a highly engaged audience, feel free to reach out via my email in the description. Let's create something impactful together. 1. Delete one bad habit. Not cut down, not ease out. Just kill it. Let me say something that might offend you. Your life isn't falling apart because you don't know what to do. It's falling apart because you refuse to stop doing what's destroying you. We live in a culture obsessed with add morning routines, add meditation apps, add productivity hacks, but no one wants to talk about the power of subtraction. You don't need more good habits yet. You need to assassinate the bad ones that are quietly draining your life force. And here's the controversial part. I'm not telling you to reduce a bad habit. That's diet book nonsense. I'm telling you to delete it completely. Cold turkey. No, just one more time. No, gradually weaning off. You don't negotiate with the thing that's holding you back. You break up with it like a toxic ex and block its number. When you cut one toxic habit completely, you send your brain a loud, unmissable message. I'm in control now. Most people think discipline comes from adding more routines. Wrong. Real discipline is forged when you deny yourself the thing you crave, but know is killing you. That's the mental gym. I learned this the hard way. My bad habit was late-night binge eating. It wasn't fun little snacks. It was raiding the kitchen at 1 a.m. like a raccoon breaking into a trash can. And every morning, I'd wake up feeling sluggish, guilty, and mentally weak. I told myself for months that I'd cut down. Guess how that worked? Spoiler, it didn't. Because cut down is just code for keep doing it, but feel better about it. One day, I decided to quit completely. No exceptions. The first week felt like my stomach and my brain were staging a coup. But then something happened. I started sleeping better. My mornings felt cleaner. And most importantly, I started to respect myself more. Not because I lost weight, but because I kept my own word. Pick one habit to kill. Not 10, not 3, just one. Maybe it's doom scrolling TikTok before bed. Maybe it's smoking. Maybe it's hitting snooze 7 times. Maybe it's gossiping or trash talking behind people's backs. Draw a clear line. Say out loud, as of today, I don't do this anymore. And yes, it sounds cheesy, but your brain listens when you speak your decisions out loud. Replace, don't just remove. If you take away a habit without replacing the need it was fulfilling, you'll relapse. Quit doom scrolling. Replace with reading 5 pages of a book before bed. Quit late-night snacking. Replace with drinking water and brushing your teeth early. Tell someone who will actually hold you accountable. Not your supportive friend who says, "It's okay if you mess up." No, tell the friend who will roast you into the ground if you cave. Track your streak. Every day you stick to it. Mark it down. Streaks are addictive in the best way. Here's the thing, guys. Bad habits are like those bros you keep around because you have history, even though they're holding you back. You think, well, we've been through a lot together. Yeah, and that's exactly why you need to cut them loose. For me, the night I broke my late-night binge habit, I wasn't thinking about self-love or wellness. I was thinking like a man cleaning house. It was war, and in war, you don't negotiate with the enemy. You eliminate it. Men understand this with sports, with business, with competition. But for some reason, when it comes to our own bad habits, we get sentimental. We romanticize them. Oh, but I enjoy it. Yeah, you enjoy it the same way a fish enjoys the worm, right before the hook rips its mouth open. Killing one bad habit changes your identity faster than adding 10 good ones. Why? Because you're proving to yourself that you're the kind of man who can quit something hard. Every time you give in to a bad habit, you're teaching your brain, "I don't follow through." Every time you resist, you're teaching your brain, "I'm in charge here." People think self-confidence comes from looking good, making money, or having status. But the quietest, most unshakable confidence comes from knowing you can trust yourself. That when you say, "I don't do this anymore," you mean it. And here's the punch. If you can delete one bad habit in the next 30 days, you'll realize something powerful. You're not weak. You're not just like this. You're capable of far more discipline than you've been led to believe. You've just been feeding the wrong wolf. 2. Read 10 pages of a real book. Not TikTok summaries, not Instagram quotes. A real book. Let's be real for a second. If I told you to read 10 pages of a real book every day, half of you just rolled your eyes. Oh, I'll just watch a YouTube summary instead. Yeah, because nothing says I'm taking my growth seriously like letting some guy in his bedroom give you the 3 key takeaways from meditations while you're scrolling past cat videos. Here's the controversial part. If you don't read actual books front to back, you are robbing yourself of depth. You're giving your brain fast food and wondering why it's sluggish. Social media is mental junk food, tasty, addictive, and guaranteed to leave you weaker in the long run. I can hear someone saying, "But I don't have time." Really? You watched 3 hours of Netflix last week, but 15 minutes with a book is too much. The truth is, reading forces you to confront the part of you that's addicted to quick dopamine. That's why so many people don't have time. It's not about time, it's about discipline. Reading 10 pages a day sounds small. That's the point. 10 pages takes maybe 10, 15 minutes. But over a year, that's 3,650 pages. That's 12, 15 full books. Do you know what happens when you read 12 books in a year, while most people read 0? You start thinking differently. Your mental vocabulary expands. You see through people's nonsense faster. And in conversations, you stop sounding like a walking TikTok feed and start sounding like someone who thinks. I noticed this when I first started reading Stoic philosophy. At first, I didn't get it. Marcus Aurelius felt like he was writing in riddles. But by page 20, I was thinking about my life in a way I never had before. 10 pages at a time slowly rewired how I reacted to problems. I wasn't just learning Stoicism, I was internalizing it. Pick a real book. No, not a comic. No, not a quote book you flip through when you're bored. Something that will teach you or change how you think. Non-fiction, meditations, Atomic Habits Can't Hurt Me. Fiction that challenges you. 1984, The Count of Monte Cristo, Brave New World. Set a fixed reading time. Morning coffee, lunch break, before bed. Doesn't matter. Tie it to something you already do. Make it visible. Keep the book somewhere you can't ignore it. My first book sat on my pillow every day so I couldn't go to sleep without moving it. Don't read for motivation. Read to feed your mind, even when you don't feel like it. The days you don't want to read are when you'll need it most. A few years back, I went on a date where the girl asked me what I was reading. I froze. My brain panicked. I hadn't read anything since high school, unless you count Reddit threads. So I said the only thing that came to mind. I read a lot of, articles. She gave me that polite, tight-lipped smile that says, "You're cute, but no." That night, I realized something. Men who read have an edge. You're sharper, more interesting, and harder to manipulate. When you read, you're stacking mental ammo. And in a world where everyone's thinking is shaped by headlines and algorithms, being well-read is like having night vision in a blackout. So I started small, 10 pages a night before bed. No phone, no TV, just me and the book. At first it felt slow, but after a month, I started quoting things I'd learned in casual conversations, and people looked at me differently. I wasn't trying to sound smart. I was smarter. Guys, here's the thing. In the gym, you don't see results after one workout. But show up consistently, and in a few months, people notice. Reading is mental weightlifting. Those 10 pages a day, that's you adding 5 pounds to the bar every session. Most men today are informationally starved, but entertainment bloated. They know sports stats, memes, and celebrity gossip, but can't hold a conversation about philosophy, history, or how to navigate life with wisdom. Reading changes that, and not because it's impressive, but because it sharpens the one weapon you'll carry your whole life, your mind. In 30 days of reading 10 pages a day, you won't just know more, you'll think differently. And when you think differently, you make better moves, attract better people, and live at a level that most will never reach. So here's the challenge. Pick a book tonight. 10 pages, every day, non-negotiable. Because the man who feeds his mind will always outrun the man who feeds his distractions. 3. Stop eating like a trash can. I'm going to be blunt. If your daily diet looks like it could fit into the snack aisle of a gas station, you're eating like a trash can. And before you get defensive, I've been there. I've done the frozen pizza and energy drink lifestyle. I've eaten food that had so many preservatives, it could probably survive a nuclear winter. And I told myself the same lie everyone tells. It's fine, I'm young, my metabolism can handle it. Yeah, until it doesn't. You can work out 6 days a week, drink your gallon of water, and still feel like garbage if you fuel yourself with junk. And here's the kicker. Most people don't eat badly because they don't know what's healthy. They eat badly because it's easy, cheap, and gives instant gratification. We've normalized eating like absolute crap, and then being shocked when we feel sluggish, moody, and unmotivated. We'll spend hundreds on supplements but won't stop eating the processed food that's actually draining us. It's like putting premium gas in a car while pouring sugar into the tank. When you stop eating like a trash can, you're not just getting healthy, you're upgrading your daily performance. Your energy stabilizes, no more post-lunch crashes. Your mood improves, because your gut and brain are connected. Your body composition changes without killing yourself in the gym. The craziest part, you don't even need to go full fitness influencer to see results. I'm not saying live on boiled chicken and broccoli. I'm saying stop fueling yourself with stuff that has cartoon mascots on the box. Start with breakfast. Swap the sugary cereal or pastries for eggs, oats, fruit, or Greek yogurt. The first meal sets the tone for the day. Upgrade one meal at a time. Don't try to overhaul your whole diet overnight. Replace one bad meal with a better one, and build from there. Read the labels. If the ingredients list reads like a chemistry exam, it's not real food. Stop buying junk for the house. If it's in your pantry, it will end up in your mouth. Follow the will this fuel me or fog me rule. If it's going to leave you feeling sluggish an hour later, skip it. A few years ago, I thought I was doing fine. I went to the gym 4 days a week. I had a decent job, and I thought my energy levels were normal. Then one day, a friend challenged me to cut out processed food for a month. I didn't realize how much junk I was eating until I had to stop. No protein bars, no frozen burritos, no healthy granola bars that were basically candy. The first week was rough. I felt like I was detoxing, but by week 2, my energy skyrocketed. I wasn't dragging myself out of bed. My workouts improved. My focus at work was sharper. The real shocker, my mood improved. I didn't realize how much my crappy diet was affecting my patience, my confidence, and even my motivation. Men love to talk about performance, in the gym, in business, in life. But performance doesn't start with motivation. It starts with fuel. You wouldn't take your dream car and fill it with muddy water, but that's exactly what we do to our bodies when we live on processed, sugary, chemical-heavy food. Eating well isn't about vanity or six-pack abs, although sure, those are nice. It's about respect for your body, for your energy, for your ability to show up every day at 100%. The food you eat becomes your blood, your cells, your brain. Junk in, junk out. You can't expect clarity, confidence, and drive if you're running on soda, fried food, and candy bars. In 30 days of cutting out the worst offenders, you'll feel like you've upgraded your operating system. You'll have more energy without needing as much caffeine. You'll think more clearly, and you'll realize something important. You weren't lazy or unmotivated before. You were just underfueled. Stop eating like a trash can. Start eating like a man who actually gives a damn about his future. 4. Track your spending. Every dollar. Here's a truth that will hurt some feelings. If you don't know where your money is going, you are not bad with money. You're bad at telling yourself the truth. I've heard every excuse. I'm just not a numbers person. Budgeting stresses me out. I work hard. I deserve to spend. Yeah, you work hard. And that's exactly why you should respect where your money goes. If you don't track it, you're basically handing your paycheck to strangers and saying, "Surprise me." And here's the controversial part. Most people who can't save aren't victims of low income. They're victims of unconscious spending. Yes, some people are genuinely struggling just to cover rent and food, but a scary number of people who could save are bleeding money on coffee, subscriptions they forgot about, impulse Amazon buys, and food delivery that costs more than their electricity bill. Tracking every dollar isn't about being cheap. It's about awareness. When you know exactly where your money goes, you take control. And once you take control, you can make intentional choices. Save more, invest more, or even just spend guilt-free because you actually know you can afford it. The first month I tracked my spending, I realized I was spending almost $400 a month on random food. Not groceries, random food. Extra snacks, takeout, quick coffee runs. It was like I was sponsoring Starbucks at this point. Once I saw the number, I couldn't unsee it. That's the beauty of tracking. It forces you to confront the habits you've been hiding from yourself. Track every dollar for 30 days. No rounding, no skipping small purchases. That $3 candy bar counts. That $1 app subscription counts. Pick a method you'll stick to. Old school notebook and pen. App mint YNAB. You need a budget. Or even your phone's notes app. Categorize your spending. Split it into needs, rent, food, bills, wants, entertainment, restaurants, and what was I thinking? Purchases. Review weekly. Don't wait until the end of the month. A quick weekly check-in helps you adjust before you blow your budget. I remember my rock-bottom money moment. I checked my account one Friday, thinking I had a comfortable buffer, and saw $18.73. I had just been paid 2 weeks earlier. I wasn't behind on rent. I wasn't in debt. I had just been bleeding money on small, stupid things. That month, I tracked everything. It felt humiliating at first. I'd be in line buying chips and an energy drink, thinking, do I really want to see this written down later? That's when it clicked. Tracking isn't just about numbers, it's about accountability. By the end of the month, I'd cut my impulse spending in half without feeling deprived. I still went out, still bought good food, still had fun. I just wasn't mindlessly leaking cash. And the crazy part? My stress levels dropped. Because nothing is more exhausting than pretending you're fine financially when you secretly have no clue. Men love to talk about being providers, responsible, leaders. But you can't lead a household, a business, or even your own life if you don't know where your money's going. Tracking your spending isn't about being a control freak. It's about respect. Respect for your work, your future, and your ability to make choices. In 30 days of tracking every dollar, you'll see patterns you can't ignore. Maybe you're paying for 4 streaming services you don't use. Maybe you're spending more eating out than on actual groceries. Maybe your one drink after work habit is costing you a vacation every year. When you track your money, you reclaim your power. You stop being a passive consumer and start being a deliberate investor in your own life. And when you hit that point, you'll never go back, because you'll realize money isn't just something you earn and spend. It's a tool, and you can either use it to build your life or watch it quietly build someone else's. 5. No phone for the first hour of your day. Let's be brutally honest. Most of us don't wake up anymore, we just boot up. The alarm goes off, we roll over, and the first thing our zombie brain reaches for isn't water, isn't a stretch, isn't even our partner. It's that little glowing rectangle we call a phone, and boom, in less than 30 seconds, your brain is hijacked. Emails, Instagram reels, breaking news that has zero bearing on your actual life. You're already reacting to the world before you've even owned your day. Now, here's the controversial truth. The first hour of your day is either your throne or your prison. You're either the king of your mental kingdom or you're the court jester dancing to everyone else's agenda. And the phone, that's the scepter you willingly hand over to chaos. When I first tried this, no phone for an hour, it felt like quitting sugar cold turkey. My fingers literally twitched toward the nightstand like an addict. But something wild happened after the first week. My mornings stopped feeling like a sprint in someone else's marathon. I wasn't instantly overloaded with noise. I could actually hear my own thoughts, and some of them weren't half bad. Here's why it's so important. Your brain, in those first moments after waking, is in what's called the theta state. That's when your subconscious is most open, meaning whatever you feed, it becomes the foundation of your day. If you shove it full of Twitter fights, half-naked influencers, and depressing headlines, you've basically marinated your mind in garbage before breakfast. But if you feed it quiet, reflection, maybe some journaling or a workout, you're programming focus, calm, and control. Charge your phone in another room. Yes, I know that sounds scary. You'll survive. Buy a $10 alarm clock if you need to. Fill that first hour with something life-giving, stretching, reading, planning your day, making an actual breakfast instead of inhaling cold pizza over your keyboard. If you must check your phone early, at least do something intentional first. Make your bed, write down your priorities, drink water, anything that signals to your brain, I'm in charge here. Back when I was working in sales, I used to wake up, check my email, and immediately panic. Some urgent message from my boss would pop up at 6:02 a.m., and my cortisol would skyrocket before I even brushed my teeth. I'd rush through my morning like I was late to a fire drill, even if the emergency was something ridiculous like updating a spreadsheet. One day, I decided to ignore my phone until after my morning coffee and workout. When I finally checked, the urgent email was solved by someone else, and I was still alive. Shocker. That was the day I realized most urgent things aren't actually urgent, but your peace in the morning is priceless. A phone in your hand first thing in the morning is like opening your front door and letting strangers walk into your living room while you're still in your underwear. It's invasive, and you wouldn't tolerate it in real life. So why do you tolerate it mentally? You owe it to yourself to arrive in your own day before the world arrives in it. That 1 hour is your runway. It's where you decide if you're taking off with intention or crashing before you even leave the ground. I'll tell you this, the mornings where I've stuck to this rule have been the days I've built businesses, crushed workouts, had real conversations, and ended the night feeling like I lived on purpose. The mornings I've broken it, I've scrolled, I've reacted, and I've ended the night wondering where the hell my day went. You get to choose which one becomes your life. All right, my friend, we've just gone through some life-changing habits that could flip your world upside down in the best way possible if you actually stick to them. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people won't. They'll watch this, nod, feel motivated for a few minutes, and then go right back to the same patterns that are making them miserable. Because habits aren't built in your head, they're built in your actions. You can't just think about changing your life. You have to earn it. And earning it means doing the boring stuff, the inconvenient stuff, the stuff that doesn't give you instant dopamine but will pay off like crazy in a month, a year, a decade. If you actually want to be the kind of person who lives differently, then stop being like everyone else. Pick one habit from this list and commit to it for 30 days. No excuses. No, I'll start Monday. No, I'm just too busy. Your future self will thank you. And your past self, well, they'll probably be embarrassed. You waited this long. Now, if you found even one idea here that made you think, damn, I needed to hear that, then don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Send it to a friend who's been stuck. Post it somewhere. Or just be that annoying person who randomly drops life advice in the group chat. And remember, life doesn't get better by accident. It gets better because you decide to build it that way. By the way, if you want deeper, more brutally honest life lessons like this, my free newsletter is where I share the stuff I can't always say here. Every Sunday, you'll get practical wisdom, controversial truths, and strategies you can use immediately. The link's below. Until next time, stop talking about the life you want and go live it.